Hey, welcome to a Ymir Q&A session. Here's a question by Gary. What surprising changes are there to migrate an existing WP WordPress app on a conventional stack to Ymir serverless? This is a really excellent question. It's an excellent question, but it's also one that's hard to answer because it really depends on the plugins that you're using and how complex the WordPress application is. In general, I've really tried hard with Ymir to make that transition painless. So the Ymir plugin is going to go behind the scenes and kind of tweak WordPress to make it work on serverless. And most plugins so far that I've tested have worked really well outside the box with very few configuration changes needed in terms of just in your Ymir project configuration change, not in terms of your WordPress configuration change. And that's really powerful. And that's really what I was hoping for with the underlying plugin. And it's really great because it works so far. I've tested Elementor and Beaver Builder, and page builders are really popular plugin types that you want to work on such a platform, and they work really well. The only caveat, there's obviously some types of plugins that you should just not install if you're going to use Ymir. So I'm thinking page caching plugins. So if you're using WP Rocket or W3 Total Cache or whatever page caching plugin you're using, you'll want to just remove that and not use it. I would say the same thing for security plugins. I wrote about serverless security, but the reality is that you really don't need a security plugin, at least not like something like security or WordFence with serverless. You should have some small security plugins like two-factor authentication. You should definitely have. I have a small a small plugin called Passwords Evolved. You should have that. But outside of like small security plugins that fix specific things, you really don't need any kind of serious security plugins. Now, the one area where probably Ymir falls short in terms of plugin and compatibility is probably with the media library. So if you're using, I've tested a couple this week already. Regenerate thumbnails doesn't seem to work. You Image optimization doesn't seem to work. That's because the biggest change with serverless is with the media library, because there's no more server where those files are stored. It kind of messes up a lot of what these plugins do, or they become really slow because behind the scenes what's happening is that if they want to edit a file, they need to like download it from S3, modify it, then send it back. And the Ymir runtime, at least the website runtime, isn't really optimized to do that kind of operation. They're very memory heavy. So far, those types of plugins haven't seemed to work. So if you're using any sort of media library plugin that really plays with the actual media files, like if you're using something like a Unsplash plugin or something that just like integrates with another kind of like image site or something like that, I don't think you'll run into issues. But if you have plugins that actually modify the media files, like optimize them or like convert them to another format or something like that, I don't think they're going to work. Right now, they might never work. It'll probably take a lot of work on my part to figure that out. And I haven't gone to that yet because I just don't have any customers that are using it. But that's probably where the biggest gotcha is for migrating from just a regular server stack to serverless.